you share with us your experience like growing vegetables and the difficulties that you face?
Well, first of all, I learned many things. One is that, of course, you must have the right condition. And right conditions means the sunlight, sufficient rainwater, and also the soil. They must be of certain mix, and they must have certain nutrients. But the good thing is all these are available. Then the second thing is that you must have the patience. So it's almost like charting out in your calendar. Day 0, what do I do? Week 1, what do I do? Week 2, what do I do? Week 3, what do I do? So you got to transplant from the seed to, seed will grow into seedlings. Seedlings, 2 weeks later, you transplant into soil, just like what we did just now. Okay, then every day you got to water. Every day you after some time you got to refertilize the soil, for instance. Of course, we are doing small scale. We don't have to worry so much about pests and things like that. But if you do large scale farming a lot, then you've got to start to protect your plant by covering them with nets and so on. So doing things for busy people like ourselves is a counter movement. It's a counter habit. Because every day we are so used to now do things in split second. You reply messages, you multitask. But seeing plant grow give you a different rhythm and temperament. You slow down, you look at the plant, and you know how they grow. And that kind of reminds you of nature. Nature has a rhythm by itself. And this rhythm is actually gradual and it's incremental. It doesn't. You cannot rush it. You cannot rush the plant and say that I want you to grow in 1 week. You can't. So I think following this rhythm also gives us appreciation of our environment. Our environment grows bit by bit. So things that we do can add on to it slowly. And certain things that we do have to be very long term. So if you want to beautify our estate, our garden, you just have to have the patience.
What about you? What have you grown and what have been successes? What have you eaten that you grow?
The other little surprising thing I found is that a lot of vegetables, but when they cook, they strung into a plate. So I was going to invite a lot of people to share the fruits of my labor, but I realized that it's not possible. You got to supplement with what you have to buy from the supermarket. Otherwise, there's not enough vegetables to go around.
There's this group of people like growing vegetables at Clementi Avenue 4 there. Is MParks ready to help them if they want to set up a community garden for that group of people? Well,
that's quite a different set of story. I think first of all, the land is a public land, is a state land. So they should realize that they are not supposed to be there in the first place. So I think any measures now helping them is really a sign of goodwill to help them relocate. So, but in general, we are seeing increasing number of people participating in the community gardens. Of course, as our population ages, I think we got to find things to help people to enjoy, their leisure, their free time, and planting is a very good hobby.
So one more question: would you be able to comment on Prof. Lim Chong Ya's proposal that he proposed? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, this is a question for my MTI hat. Just as I said, growing plant has a certain rhythm, has a certain tempo, and this is part of nature. Economics works that way too. Because in a free market system, for it to work well, we have to be very mindful of the interventions we introduce. And if you artificially raise it too much, if you try to inject too much hormone to a person, if you try to overfeed a person, there are consequences, and some of these consequences are not what you want to see. So I think by Prof. Lim's proposal, if I understand him correctly, of raising 15 and 20, I think this is a very drastic way of raising the wages without corresponding increase in productivity, and that they will have a wide impact on the economy. Someone doing business in China told me that in China, in the last 2-3 years, the wages have risen by 100%. You know, and the outcome is that many of the factories who could not adjust in time, they will have to move out. Either they move inland or they move to lower cost country like Vietnam, Indonesia, Cambodia, and so on. You know, so it means plant closure. It means loss of jobs. So on paper, in that experience, it's good, but in reality, there are serious dislocations, you know, that can be observed on the ground. So I think we've got to be very careful.